guys, Finnovation. So, I know a lot of people are kind of confused on what we're doing with Halloween this year. Our area is going to do Halloween, but since I have Crohn's disease, we've got to figure out a way to make it safe. So, the obvious question is,
how are you going to do that?
So, what we're going to do is we're going to make a candy slide. So, I'm going to drop the candy in a tube, and the kids are going to pick it up. Since we're doing a firefighter theme, I'm going to have a fire hydrant at the end. So, it's kind of like the candy's coming out of a fire hydrant, and it's going to be kind of cool. Let's get into it.
Okay, so now what we're going to have here is a fire hydrant that our pipe goes into so the kids can kind of take their candy out of the fire hydrant. So what we're going to have is we have a big pipe from the heating section of our big box store. We have a hard plastic plate so you guys can see this doesn't bend. Then we are going to have a Jell-O mold on top. You could also use a small bowl, a small dish, and a screw. Then we are going to have the ends of pipes. These kind of like secure the end of pipes from a plumbing section, and they're going to be on the side like that. This makes it look like a fire hydrant. We're going to spray paint everything red and glue or screw everything together. So we're going to get that done right now. All right, so now what we're going to do is glue all this stuff together. This again would be the top of that fire hydrant. So we're going to be using some Gorilla Glue. And what we're going to do is we have a caulker bottle. And we are just going to glue it. So let's do that right now. Now, we finally have completed our top. Now, obviously, as you guys can see, there's a ton of glue all over it. But we knew that it would stick over a bit. So we're going to wait for it to dry, then we're going to put a coat of spray paint. This is going to take a while to dry, so we've just got to wait. Okay, now for our chute. So what we're going to have for our, that goes into the fire hydrant, we're going to have a PVC pipe. This is a 4-inch thick pipe with a, so now how long it is we used a 10-foot one and a 5-foot one, and we connected them with a connector using some plumbing glue. There is a glue and a primer in here. So we just used this to keep the pipes together, which we just used a connector. If you want to know how to do this, there's other tutorials online. And at the end, we've got a 30-degree angle. So this is what's going to feed into our fire hydrant. All right, so we have our pipe spray painted, and we're gonna do a quick test to see if our candy works sliding through. So I've got my candy here, and I'm gonna slide it through the pipe. Now we haven't completed the hydrant yet, but we're just gonna see how it works. So I'm gonna drop it down in 3, 2, 1. And there it is coming out. I'm gonna do another one right now. There we go. So now all we've got to do is make the fire hydrant. And the next thing you need to remember to do is to tie your pipe or your chute to your house. So we have a little bit of a screw right here. And so what we're going to do is we tied some string. You can always go around, but we put a nut with a washer in there. A screw with a washer in there. And you're going to wrap around the nail a couple times, or whatever you have. Or you could even close the window on it, but then you won't be able to put candy. But whatever it is, you want to make sure this is secured so that your chute doesn't fall, and because we have it on our second story, and we wouldn't want it to break anything else if it fell down. Okay, so now what we're going to do to make the fire hydrant, like I kind of already explained earlier, we're going to paint that piece of tin that we had as our vent that's going to be the bottom. All right, so now that we have this spray painted, we are going to cut a hole right where we have marked here. This is so that the pipe can go through it, and the kids can reach in and grab their candy. So I'm going to use some tin snips and just cut around this hole. So what we just did was we got our hole cut out, and we put our tube through it. And we got this spray painted, and we just put it on there. So now what we're going to do is put our side pieces on like this. So what we're also going to do is use some glue. It looks like spray paint, but it is spray chalk. And what we're going to do is we're going to have maybe a couple water bursts, and we're going to say, get your candy here. So I'm going to do that right now, put the sides on, and let's get into it. All right, so here we have our completed fire hydrant. Again, all we did was we put our top on, we put these sides on, and all we were using is some Gorilla Glue. and we have our pipe coming out of the top. But really, it's pretty simple, and you guys can apply this design to anything. If you wanted to do just skeletons, you could put a skeleton head at the end. You could honestly do anything. And now we sprayed some, it is some spray chalk, and to make it look like we've got a little bit of a splash zone. So if I have a piece of candy come out here, what it'll kind of look like is it kind of shoots out onto the splash zone. So if I'm kind of trying to catch it, it'll come out right into my hand or onto the area. And I really like this because it looks kind of nice, and as you can see, the pieces are coming out, and if a kid asks for one, they'll fly right out onto the zone. So I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. My neighbor Henry, he also loved it. Sadly, the video didn't work.
Well, that sums up this video. I really liked it, and I think it's going to be a ton of fun to hand out some candy.
Candy, Finn, that reminds me of a joke.
Oh boy.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Philip.
Philip who?
Fill up my bag with candy.
Oh boy, I bet that's what Duct Tape Willie wants his bag to be filled up with. Whatever. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!